afternoon.
Good evening, whatever it is where you are in the world.
Yeah. Today, we really want to take some time to encourage you on your weight loss journey. I think we say this every time, but we know from our own personal experience that weight loss is a challenging journey with so many temptations along the way, with so many discouragements I want to say they're not even real discouragements. A lot of the times they're just discouragements that go on in our minds that we make up because the journey's hard, right? Like we think we're not doing well because we only lost 1 pound, right? Things like that, that we let that become a discouragement when in reality, that's a victory.
That's right. We doubt ourselves, and doubt creeps in so quickly. Like everything can be going really, really well. Maybe we've treated our body like a temple really well to the best of our ability for like 10 days straight. And then we have one little slip up and we just beat ourselves up to the nth degree. And then we go, oh, I can never do it. When we've just done it really well for 10 days.
Yeah. And then we just ditch it all and quit.
Wow.
So I think so often those challenges and the discouragements come as a result of what goes on between our ears. And that's why we talk so often about needing encouragement and about needing to renew our minds and about choosing what we focus on. Because if we focus on all of the negative things or on all of the hard things or on all of the things that aren't going as fast as we want them to go, then we'll never do it, because it's never going to be as fast as we want it to be.
And it's always going to be hard. And there's always going to be events happening. There's always going to be food that we want to, I'm going to say, indulge in. When in reality, when you're on a weight loss journey, you have to say no to yourself sometimes. We have to say no to the desires of the flesh more often than we want to.
And I think we live in a world where that is not something that gets talked about. We live in a world where we get the desires of the flesh as soon as we want them, and it's instant gratification, and we buy what we want on credit, and we don't learn how to save for stuff and wait. We eat what we want when we want it, and we don't think about moderation and portion control and gluttony. And what else do we do? Like there's so many things like that.
That's right. And I just actually heard a message about denying self. And we live in this world where it's all about self-grandiosa, self-improvement, self-achievement, self-everything, self-love. And I talk about self-love as well. But in my self-love, I'm saying we're treating our body like a temple. So that means surrendering the journey to God. It means God first.
And I think it means honoring the body and mind and spirit that God gave you, which requires care and attention.
That's right. The message I heard, though, was all about not that self-care is not what we need. We need, I'm going to say, Jesus care. It wasn't worded like that, but and in that message, it was so right. Like we have to deny ourselves because we belong to God. We are His children. And so it's not me. It's not me first. It's never about me first. It's about God first. And that's why we talk so much about self-love in the
biblical context.
Yeah, in the biblical context of having God in the journey each and every moment of the day, surrendering the journey every morning, because His mercies are new every morning. So we have to do that. But I think in this whole area of self-love, we have to be careful that we aren't saying, well, yeah, I'm loving myself. I get to eat that. I get to do that. I get to. There's a difference between I get to and I choose to do some things, because it's just you can go down this rabbit trail, which I'm doing right now. And maybe we should get back to the point. The point is we want to be able to surrender the journey to God, be on track every day. And we know that a weight loss journey, we need to be encouraged every day or the road is too hard.
But I think we should go back to this point, because I think ultimately what you're trying to say is that it's a matter of the heart, like everything else, because it does take focus on self to lose weight, right? We have to focus on what we're doing. We have to make choices that sometimes might feel selfish, like choosing to get some exercise instead of something else. right? So it is about choices and choosing to care for the body that God gave you.
Yeah.
But it's about, I think, the state of your heart. Because if it's all about, well, me, and la da 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 da, then that's not what we want, right?
No,
because
exactly.
the Bible does also say in Matthew, love your neighbor as yourself. Well, we would care well for our neighbors. In fact, we try to care well for our neighbors, right? So we should, in turn, then biblically be caring well for ourselves also, or loving ourselves well also. And I think another big part of that too is how we talk to ourselves and what we say to ourselves. And again, we don't want to be arrogant and conceited and egotistical,
anything like that.
But we also don't want to be like, oh, I hate everything about myself, because that's horrible, and that's not biblical either.
No.
And so everything seems like it swings so far this way or it swings so far this way, but we've got to we don't need to swing so far.
We need to have it in balance.
Yeah, let's stay in balance. Let's check our heart posture. Let's take good care of the bodies that God gave us. And sometimes people get hung up on words like the term self-love. And I mean, we often get like angry messages from people, for example, for saying things like self-love as Christians and what we think that means. Or a video that we did earlier this week, even, we had somebody who was upset with us for using the example of J.K. Rowling and her life. We're not even talking about the Harry Potter books. We're talking about her example of persevering through hard times, and we get people who are angry at us. So we get in our heads about all these things, weight loss included.
That's right, because there's so many different opinions about weight loss.
Yeah, and sometimes we just have to refocus, right? And we have to stop with all of these crazy swing shifts. And in diet culture, oh my goodness, the shifts and the swings are like as far as they can possibly go. We're like falling off the boat, we're swaying so far, right? Like all of a sudden we're never going to eat a carbohydrate again. And then we're only ever going to eat high fat.
And then we're at the gym 7 days a week. And then we're not exercising at all. And then we're intuitive eating and eat whatever your body wants. And then it's the other swing. And it's like, no. Let's get back to homeostasis, which means balance. Let's get back to balance.
Yeah.
Wow.
So anyways, there's our daily rant for you.
Because we have to have a rant for you. But I just want you to know that, we make mistakes too.
Mm-hmm.
Not everything we say is in context of the Bible. And we say that. Sometimes we're using verses and we know that God can speak to us through his words, whether it's talking about the Egyptians or the Israelites, or whether we're talking about today. We know that his words are powerful. We know that sometimes we're putting it into a weight loss context. This is to encourage you. It's not to have you tell us that we're interpreting the Bible wrong, because we know that we're taking it and using it for weight loss. But there's still inspired words.
Well, and we often say the Bible is like our blueprint for best living, right? Everything that's in there is wisdom for us, for our good. Yeah. And so how do we apply that to day-to-day living?
Okay, so talking about that, let's talk about the verse that we have for you today. Mm-hmm. And this is a great verse, 2 Timothy 4, verse 7. And here it is. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Wow. Those are powerful. Those are three powerful sentences. I have fought, I have finished, and I have kept. Like, those are all action words.
Mm-hmm. 2 Timothy 4:7.
So I'm going to say we need to use the wisdom from this verse. And I believe it was Paul who wrote Timothy. And he's talking to the church. But he's saying, I have fought the good fight. He did fight. He fought for the Lord. Are you doing that? Am I doing that? Are we fighting for the Lord? Are we fighting for the good? Are we fighting in our weight loss journey? Are we fighting against the devil?
Yeah.
Because we need to.
Mm-hmm.
And I've finished the race.
We're not done ours yet. The challenges keep coming.
That's right. And you're not finished yours. That's why we need encouragement each and every single day.
Yeah.
Because the road is hard, but we have to finish the race and run it well. We know that the Bible tells us to do that. Here's the thing. Progress takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. And we talk about that so much, how we have to look at the progress that we're making and look back at how far you've come and celebrate your wins, because with that comes encouragement, which boosts you up for doing it another day, because every day can seem like it's hard and drudgery if we don't find joy in the journey.
Yeah, exactly. We're actually ending up talking about different things than we intended to talk about here, but I think it's good because it's
okay.
necessary. And I think, like, even further to your point before about we make mistakes. We make mistakes with what we say here. We make mistakes with, like, on our health journeys too.
That's right.
And the expectation of perfection is one that will get us in trouble. Having expectations on other people that they won't make mistakes. Like, if you have the expectation of us that we're never going to make a mistake, then unsubscribe and see you later, because we will, and we do, and we have.
That's
and
right.
we want to be big enough people to own them.
Same with your pastor.
Yeah.
If you have the expectation that your pastor's never going to let you down, well, that's some kind of false thinking, because your pastor is human and he's going to make mistakes. And we know ours makes mistakes too. And they take responsibility for that. They take ownership for that because they know they're human. They know they make mistakes.
Yeah.
We're all sinners. We're all having to fight the good fight.
Yeah. And I think also there's different opinions and different ideas and different ways to do things, right? You can, like, if we apply that to weight loss, our 10-day WeighDown plan is an amazing plan that works. But there's a lot of other amazing good ways to lose weight out there too.
That's right.
There's a lot of bad ways, but there's a lot of other really good ways too. So you don't have to do the way that we suggest it, or what has worked for us, or what our plan says. You can do what's going to work for you. In fact, that's what we say. Create a healthy lifestyle for yourself that you can maintain for the rest of your life.
But it has to be sustainable, because if not, you're going to gain it back.
And likewise with other things too. You might not have liked that we talked about J.K. Rowling, but that isn't an indication of, like, how do I say this? Like, there's closed fist things and open hand things, right? Like, there's a lot of Christian people who will never read the Harry Potter books. There's a lot of Christian people who do read the Harry Potter books. Reading a Harry Potter book does not make, or, like, well, help me out here.
Well, what we're trying to say is that
you can be a Christian and read Harry Potter.
We can agree to disagree on certain things.
Yes.
Because we're all different, and God doesn't lock us up in a box. And
that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and God works on us in different ways. So if we have said something that you disagree with, that's okay. But we don't have to get into hate mail or
keyboard warriors behind the screen.
Yeah, or we don't have to judge each other because of it. Because when we judge each other, we're riding on a line, and it's a hard line to come back from, because God is the ultimate judge. And you know, the Bible talks about so many different things, but I know that I don't want to be accused of saying, oh, you're totally wrong on that, because sometimes we're deceived. The devil is the deceiver. He's the father of lies. He can deceive me, he can deceive you, and we can say things and then wish we hadn't said them, because all of a sudden we have this revelation, and it's like, oh my goodness, I was wrong. So we have to be so careful, like what you said.
Yeah, we do. And you know, I mean, yeah, people do go off the rails with everything too. So we want to be careful about that. And I think, like, for you watching us, we want you to know that we are very careful about making sure that we are reading our Bibles, that we are praying, that we are surrendering the content that we present to you and making sure that it's in line with what the Bible says. And again, we're going to make mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, we're just people.
And we're not
just like
claiming
you.
that we won't.
No, exactly. In fact, we're claiming that we will.
But I think that our bottom line is like, it's okay if we disagree. That's okay, because people in your own church will disagree on things.
Yeah.
You and your neighbor are going to disagree about things, but that doesn't mean you can't have a good relationship. It doesn't mean that you can't get along. It doesn't mean that you can't learn from non-believers, because there's lessons all over the place if we want to learn them.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's a little bit outside of weight loss, what we were just talking about. But I think just to get back to the weight loss conversation and encouragement with that, we had 5 things that we wanted to tell you that in our minds are daily things to monitor and manage on your weight loss journey, because it's all about creating a healthy lifestyle for yourself that you can maintain over time. It's not about cutting out carbs for the rest of your life. It's not about eating low fat for the rest of your life, right? This is how do we make a healthy, sustainable lifestyle? And so we have 5 daily things that you need to be monitoring in order to have that healthy lifestyle. And I'm just going to rattle them off for you, and then we can talk a little bit more about them. But it's making sure you're drinking your water. It's a very important part of our health. And it's one that we don't pay enough attention to, I think.
Right. Like if you're dehydrated, you need water. If you have a bit of a headache and you don't know why you have a headache, drink more water, because you're probably getting dehydrated. So often our bodies, we don't feel thirsty, but our bodies are craving water. And water, we know that it's a big part of weight loss. It helps to flush everything out. So we need to be drinking water.
Yeah. So water, moving your body. Our bodies are meant to move. Our bodies are not meant to be sedentary 24 hours a day. 3, accountability with what you are doing. Even if it is just accountability, you writing it down in a journal. Moderation.
That's a big one.
That's a really big one. And that means a lot of things in weight loss. It means using moderation in like how much junk we're eating. It means moderation in like how many trips to your portion control, which is the 5th one, is portion control.
Oh, okay.
And so moderation and portion control are huge, huge pieces to creating a healthy lifestyle for yourself, where you're going to be able to lose the weight. Because if you don't use portion control, you won't lose the weight.
That's right. That's the
bottom line.
Yeah, because you can eat healthy food all week and not lose anything, because you still might be eating too much to lose the weight. So it is a really important part of weight loss. Those 5 things are crucial if you want to lose weight in a sustainable way, find joy in the journey, and be able to maintain your weight loss after you've lost the weight you want to lose.
Yeah. So let's just recap them one more time. Drink your water, move your body, be accountable, moderation, portion control. If you apply those 5 things to every day of your life moving forward, you will get healthy and you will lose the weight.
So stop, even if you are, sick of hearing about dieting or sick of hearing about weight loss, just focus on your health. And those 5 things are important for your health. For the sake of your health, do these 5 things. The other thing is, you're stronger than you think you are. So often we think, I just can't do it another day. I just can't do it. I just can't eat another salad. You don't have to eat another salad. Make some good food. It doesn't have to be salad. You just have to portion control.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do hard things.
Exactly. Anything else?
I think just remember, fight the good fight, finish the race, and keep the faith.
And thank you for listening to our rant today. It was Bible-based encouragement for weight loss, plus a little extra.
Yeah, well, we usually have a rant, so we had to have one today.
That's true.
And we had it.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments how you're doing, and give us some feedback. Yeah.
Until next time, remember that you are a beautiful woman chosen for greatness.
And we believe in you.